2025. It's coming here and it's already here around the corner. So what exactly is it that we can expect? Now, if you take all the numbers of 2025, if you calculate them all together, and if you come to one single digit, you come at the digits of a number 9. Now, the last year I've been sharing a couple of videos about what it is like to live on a life path number 9 in numerology, and the last number, it is basically one of the final lessons that we must learn, and that is really about tuning into our higher self and learning how to integrate that. So the main topic of upcoming year will be, of course, of spiritual alignment. Like, are we living our true soul's calling? And if not, if for some reason we are rejecting or neglecting our own soul's journey, then we will be instantly snapped into this kind of alignment through crisis. So what kind of crisis can we expect? For example, if you are working in a dead-end, meaningless job, job, just over broke, and you're struggling in that area, and it is costing you too much time and energy and all of it, but you do it for the sake of financial security, because you're telling yourself, well, I gotta go and pay this and pay that and pay whatever. Sure, you know, we all have our responsibilities, but what if that job is completely out of alignment of your true soul's calling, of what it is that you are truly meant to do here? So what we are trying to do through our activities, that is often always a reflection of who we really are and choose to be. Like, if we go out in the world and we are trying to do things that we feel called to do, of course we're going to hit lots of challenges and obstacles. But if we learn to align ourselves by sometimes being able to relax, and then we can reflect on where we are at, so we can really align more with that. Getting into the helicopter view of the visionary of what it is that we can find our inspirations in life, because to be inspired means to be in spirit. Because when we hit obstacles through our activities, through our entrepreneurial endeavors, for example, or creative expressions, then this is the fastest way towards personal and spiritual growth. If we do not feel challenged in one way or another, because we are going for safety and security of that dead and meaningless job that you feel so stuck in, but you're trying to do things that you feel called to do, but you have a lot of fear and anxieties about actually doing the thing, aligning yourself with the activities will, of course, will also be a reflection of who you are becoming. So it is a constant dance or battle between personal developments and taking massive inspired action. Now, if we take only actions that is not inspired, does not really come from an inspiration, we can go in circles and circles and circles, going absolutely nowhere. But if we are only, like, in a very passive way trying to figure out who we are and who we are supposed to be, and we get stuck in our endless being or whatever, sure, there are definitely lots of moments that we need lots of rest, because we are going through very intense integration work. Like lots of us, we are finding ourselves in lots of solitude and isolation, because we feel completely tired, exhausted of really taking any kind of action, and we don't have the clarity. But if you are only stuck in personal developments, but we are not implemented or integrating anything within real life through our actions, of course you can also continue to spin your wheels and absolutely going nowhere. Let it be like a form of toxic positivity or spiritual bypassing. If we are only like, oh, the world is so positive and all of it, but we're not really facing that what we need to face to move forward, like taking action, for example, once again, we continue to go in circles and circles and circles, and then we will be slapped into this alignment if we are not in one line with our true soul's calling. Now, the last couple of months I've made videos before about the wheels that are opening and that are shifting, and where lots of new energies are coming in that will be there for us to look at one way for, let's say, healing, let it be inner child healing, soul retrieval, ancestral healing, looking at all the patterns that has been passed over to us by our family lines, could be from multiple generations in the past, but also is to bring in the energy, the power, the strength, the inspiration, the skills, the talents, and all of it from our ancestors as well. For example, maybe you are called to be on a spiritual healing practice, or developing a spiritual healing practice. Maybe you're called to go into Reiki or yoga or energy healing, or organizing retreats, or helping people to shift into their identity, for example. Or maybe you're drawn into psychology or into shamanism, for example, or any kind of other psychic mediumship, or whatever it is that you feel called to do. Then this is really the time to get serious about it. Because if we're still kind of stuck in this dead end meaningless work that, sure, it pays the bills, but you're just getting by, then eventually you will also simply hit a massive wall where you start to struggle suddenly with some kind of challenge, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and where you are being called to move back within yourself. So if I may look back to my own journey, I could definitely say from 2012 until now, I probably have been dominated, let it call, by Neptune or Mercury or whatever, that has cast a major shadow over me. And I've been through, let's say, a couple of high ups, and I've been to massive deep downs, where as the tiny little Pisces, the two fish swimming around each other, of living in between worlds, between the physical and the spiritual, but also as the tiny little Pisces, I'm also very of course drawn towards solitude and being on my own and being on my own way, where as the Pisces I like to swim at the bottom of the ocean, deep within the subconscious mind, to face everything that has to be faced within the shadow aspect. I could be like a Finding Nemo, or I could be like the kind of like the shark, the protectors of the ocean, and get into this kind of like warrior energy that is also needed for us to face these shadows that exist within us. So from 2012 until now, I have been through lots of shadow work myself, where everything that I tried to do was really coming much more from willpower and strength or creative impulses than really from divine inspiration, because I also had lots of moments where I completely felt cut off from a spiritual connection, and that's why I've been paying much more attention on how I could really align to that essence that I felt called to do, with of course lots of ups and downs within this process, and my own distractions and my own doubts and insecurities and all of that, and looking for safety and security outside myself within job positions. And really definitely like I knew that I was not meant to live on the regular way of living and working and all of it, but still tiptoeing around it because I didn't really know exactly how to move forward. Although I tried to follow my calling, I've been through lots of frustrations and all of it, because simply nothing that I did was actually really working for me. So that is really what I've been. So I could definitely relate to lots of people who are right now in a position of feeling completely stagnated. a lot of doubts, not knowing, or not really connected with their intuition and with their divine inspiration, not knowing who they are exactly and how to move forward. Trust me, I have been there myself, and it is really like a process to surrender, because also what we are seeing is, of course, the integration of the divine feminine energy. Now, both men and women have, of course, masculine energy and feminine energy. Maybe women have like 80% of feminine energy, 20% masculine energy, and for men is maybe a little bit different. But especially for us as men, integrating the divine feminine energy is a whole other chapter, a whole other challenge that we must face as well in order for us to create more healthy relationships with ourselves, with our work, with our creativity, with the world around us, with other people, and our, of course, intimate romantic relationship, where we as men, of course, are also developing the inner world for us to create containment for each other, for both other men and of course for us as women, for women as well. So that's a whole other thing, of course, where we as men are also really tapping much more into our intuition and our instincts and our process, to trust the process, surrender to the process and allow things to happen. And normally we were always like going really much more into this masculine energy, like forcing ourselves, building discipline and all of it in order to, you know, working down our list of things to do and really being much more in this masculine energy of getting out there. But also, of course, lots of men are dealing right now with chronic fatigue and stress and burnouts and anxiety or depression and all of it, which is of course also part of this process of really like integrating this whole new kind of spiritual energy within us. So the major takeaway is really like, if we are not aligned in the upcoming months within our job, relationships and all of it, we will simply be slapped out of it through a crisis and sacrifice, or we are going through a process where we must suffer, because in order for us to bring the light within our being, the light can only enter where it hurts the most. So sometimes we must go and experience that kind of pain within our heart, to go through the heartache, to let go of relationships that is not longer working for us and all of it, because we must really open up the spiritual heart energy center. And that's really where we are at. So we can really start living more our true soul's calling and bring in this higher energy, higher vibration that the world, the planet is right now like shifting into. So anyway, if you have any questions, please let me know. Simply drop a comment below. And what are some of your experiences from 2024, and what are you hoping to align yourself with for the upcoming year? What are some of your goals, dreams and desires? What kind of work is it that you want to develop for yourself? And yeah, let's start off this conversation, and I look forward to continue making videos for you for the upcoming year. All right, have a great evening, great New Year's Eve, and I look forward to connect with you in January. All right, take care for now.